The gates groaned as Daniel Harper forced them open. Rust flaked off the iron bars, scattering like dead leaves across the cracked driveway. He stood alone under a slate-gray sky, the last orange glow of evening retreating behind the wooded hills of rural Pennsylvania. Before him rose Ashcroft Asylum, long abandoned, steeped in local legend and shadowed tragedy. Daniel was a documentary filmmaker. Ashcroft, with its rumors of malpractice, vanished patients, and screams heard in the night, was the perfect subject for his next project. Though locals avoided it, whispering about cursed ground and restless spirits, he believed every tale had a root in truth, or at least, in profitable fear. He pulled his camera from the trunk of his dusty sedan and stepped inside. Ashcroft was a labyrinth of decay. Paint peeled in long strips from the walls, like the skin of a molting snake. Broken gurneys lay tipped in corners, their rusted wheels frozen in time. The air was thick with mold and something subtler, something metallic and stale. Blood, or memory. He began filming immediately, narrating into his mic. This place was shut down in 1974 after a string of disappearances and alleged medical abuses. No one has legally entered since. No one legally, perhaps. But someone had been here. In the children's wing, crayon drawings were freshly pinned to the walls. One showed a smiling nurse. Another, a black, eyeless figure towering over a stick figure bed. At the bottom, written in childish scrawl, "It watches. Don't listen to the humming." Daniel smiled nervously. Probably the work of thrill-seeking teenagers. Still, he kept his voice low after that. He found the records room behind a warped door marked staff only. Inside were rows of dusty cabinets. Most were empty or water-damaged beyond recognition, but in the back, he uncovered a leather-bound ledger, still intact. The pages detailed patient admissions. He flipped through. Patient 1326 Eleanor R. Age: 9. Diagnosed: acute auditory hallucinations. Recommending isolation. Daniel frowned. Page after page referenced a common delusion, the humming man. Patient claims to hear humming behind the walls. Describes being watched at night. It was a pattern repeated across different patients, decades apart. Daniel shivered despite the stagnant heat. He felt watched now. The camera in his hand trembled slightly. Darkness claimed the building quickly. His flashlight flickered as he explored the third floor. Doors swung softly on broken hinges. Shadows moved with a life of their own. Then he heard it. A soft humming, low and mechanical, echoing from somewhere deep within the asylum. At first, he thought it was his camera malfunctioning. But it grew louder as he approached a sealed wing marked closed in 1963. The chain was broken. Fresh boot prints dotted the dust. He stepped through. Unlike the rest of Ashcroft, this section looked preserved. The air smelled sterile, as if the decay had halted at the threshold. The walls were clean, the lights, impossibly, flickered to life with a soft buzz as he passed beneath them. He tried to speak but found his voice caught in his throat. More drawings lined the walls here. All identical. A shadow figure, surrounded by broken bodies and screaming mouths. And always, the words, "Don't hum. Don't listen." Then he saw it, a patient room, untouched. Inside, a tape recorder lay on the bed. He pressed play. A child's voice sang softly. "Hush little baby, don't say a word." The door slammed behind him. Panic overtook him. Daniel yanked at the door. It wouldn't budge. The lights dimmed, and the humming returned, louder now, vibrating through the walls. It felt alive. He checked his camera feed. Static. Then, a face. Just for a moment. On screen. Pale. Mouth open. Black eyes. Humming. He screamed. And something answered. A voice, whispering right next to his ear. "You see now. You hear now. You belong." He awoke in darkness. How long had passed? An hour? A day? There was someone in the room. "Hello," he croaked. A small shape stood in the corner. A girl. Pale dress. Hollow eyes. He likes you, she said. Daniel trembled. Who? The humming man. He was a doctor. He cut out the bad parts. Made us better. Where are the others? The patients. She smiled. Still here. We all stayed. We had to. He made us into echoes. She led him through corridors he didn't recognize. Deeper underground. The walls pulsed. The humming grew unbearable. This was the surgical wing, she said. There were beds here, all full. Bodies, unmoving. But breathing. Eyes stitched shut. Mouths gagged with gauze. Machines whirring. And behind a glass wall, something else. A tall figure. Motionless. Faceless. Humming. She turned to him. He wants to know if you'll stay. Daniel backed away. I'm leaving. You listened, she said. Now you're one of us. He ran. He doesn't remember how he found the exit. Doesn't remember smashing a window or cutting his hands on glass. Just the wind on his face and the night sky above him. He never looked back. Daniel never released the footage. He never spoke of Ashcroft again. But he still hears humming. In the walls of his apartment. Behind closed doors. In his dreams. And sometimes, when he passes a mirror, he sees her. Eleanor. Smiling. Waiting. There's one frame in his lost footage. 1 second of clarity among the static. A hallway, bright. At the end, a door. And through it, the camera catches Daniel. Strapped to a table. Eyes stitched